Martin Baily was chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors for President Clinton. He joins us now live from Washington. Martin, welcome to In Business. I keep calling this the yeah, but jobs report. The headline's good, but we're not seeing the kind of momentum we want. What's your read?
Well, it is a very hard report to read. First of all, we had a lot of snow and bad weather, so that's clouding the picture. Then we got this big drop in the unemployment rate, which is good news. I mean, no question about it. If you look at what we learned from households, you'd say things are doing pretty well. There were more jobs and less unemployment. Then if you look at what we learned from employers about payrolls, you'd say, well, that's pretty anemic, and a little bit of upward revision of previous months, but even so, this month was definitely weak. We need to get over 120,000 jobs just to stand still, and well over 200 if we're going to bring the unemployment rate down on a consistent basis, as opposed to this rather funny jumping around that it's been doing. So we need stronger reports than this. This one was a bit disappointing, I think, overall.
Disappointing. GDP in December was 3.2%. I mean, what kind of growth do we need to see to create momentum in the job sector?
Well, I think we will see faster growth in 2011. I'm actually fairly optimistic now that we've turned the corner. It's not going to be that blockbuster recovery we all hoped for, but I suspect we're going to get more than or around 4% growth in 2011, and that will be enough, I think, to start to bring the jobless rate down and increase the rate of employment through 2011. But it's been a very slow recovery, and the labor market right now is still depressed. I think we have to sort of wait for the economy to heal. I don't think in Washington there's so much pressure we got to do something. I think we've done the things that we needed to do, and the thing to do now is to just let the economy recover and let those jobs come back, because I think employers are becoming a little bit more confident. The overseas sales are pretty good, and we'll start to see those jobs coming back during the course of this year.
When you say sort of let things ride out, are you saying that perhaps like reforming corporate tax code or making other legislative or regulatory changes would be a mistake at this point? I mean, would they just create uncertainty?
Well, there are mistakes that you could make. I certainly think there is a strong case for corporate tax reform in which we broaden the base and lower the rates. But we can't underestimate the difficulty of doing that, because any time you change the corporate tax code, maybe overall you make it more efficient, but some corporations are going to suffer pain and other ones not, so it's going to be hard to get agreement on how to do this. And obviously with the politics so divided, it's going to be hard to get agreement. So if we were able to get a good agreement on corporate tax reform, that'd be great. The chances of doing that, maybe not so good.
All right. Martin, I want to ask you, though, specifically, because I was looking at a report that you did with Brookings Institution, and you focus in on creating and manufacturing as areas this country needs to focus in on. What do you mean manufacturing? Are you talking about high-level innovation? Or you're talking about making shirts and socks?
No, we're not talking about making shirts. There is still a small apparel industry in the United States, but we're never going to be making that on the same scale. Even if it were to leave China, it would go to somewhere else like Vietnam. So toys, shirts, simple footwear, all that stuff has left the United States. But if the U.S. is going to have a more balanced growth path going forward, so we're not borrowing as much overseas, then we do need to expand exports, and that means we do need to strengthen the manufacturing sector through innovation, skills, and all of that.
Martin, thank you so much for weighing in today.
You're welcome.